I know it's been a few weeks since we have touched on the presentation. We had a guest speaker, and then last week we covered something else. Um, so the presentation, there's 4 parts on the YouTube channel right now. They're small chunks in terms of the presentation. They're longer videos. They're more in depth, the words, the psychology, all the details within the slides. We last left off, like I said, there's in part 4 in the presentation. You look it up on the YouTube channel, the 2021 presentation. We left off on the wheel. So now we'll be continuing on. We're going to go through this slide today, the money GPS, the financial plan with the flip book. The power of compound interest. So $200 a month savings. The life insurance slide with the disappearing man, with the husband or father that passes away. And then the financial house slide. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover today. I'm going to go through the words on these slides, and then also give you a little bit of background on them. Okay, so in terms of this slide in our presentation, after we've gotten here, we've created an enemy. We have talked about high touch customer service, connecting people to the right companies, giving people lots of investments and savings. Now we're going to start asking some questions. We're going to start enticing them with what we can do for them. When I do a presentation, for the most part, I'm pretty subdued. I don't get too excited. I don't get too high, too low. I will change my voice inflection sometimes. This is one of those slides where I do it. I start talking, I get more excited as I talk here on this slide, because I want people to want to share information, and I want people excited about getting a financial plan. Remember, I said this on one of the trainings a few weeks ago. The biggest obstacle that we deal with when dealing with potential clients, is their mindset. Most people have a poor mindset. They have a very middle-class mindset. They don't feel they can get out of debt. They're embarrassed. They're ashamed. They're nervous. They've been tricked before by other financial institutions. So they're very uneasy about the whole process. They're intimidated. And part of us, we have to give them an enthusiasm about working with them in some financial capacity, because they're not excited. And they don't want more bills. They don't want to spend more money. But if we can show them that, man, this is the path. This is it. We're going to help you. We're going to give you, a clear direction. And so this is where it starts to come out a little bit, right? You start speaking a little bit faster. And then obviously, when you click through the slides, if you click on the screen, it starts some animation, and you can go through the flip book, and you don't have to go through these pages, but it's pretty cool. It's like I said, it's a feature that they like to see, and they can pay attention to it. All right. So let me go through it. Now let me go through the slides. Okay. No, sorry. Yeah. All right. So all right. So our thing is a financial plan. It's a financial plan. I don't like to call it a financial plan, just because I don't, I want to use something, kind of some newer terms, or something they can relate to, something that might create a little bit more curiosity. But at the end of the day, it's financial planning. That's what we're doing. We're doing a comprehensive financial plan, get people out of debt, all the investments, credit, home security, all of it. So nobody can compete with us in terms of what we do. So what we have created a cutting edge digital tool that works like a GPS, but for your money. Once people know the action steps they need to take, we remove the guesswork. Finding the right companies and the right solutions. We provide personal, professional, financial guidance to assist people throughout the entire process. This gets families from where they are to where they want to go. We give simple to follow directions and action steps. We can reroute as needed. Most people get a little nervous or scared at the beginning, but once we're finished, they are excited and motivated when they see what's possible. No more guessing or hoping it all works out. They have a legitimate path they can follow to be totally debt-free and financially independent. They can worry less and enjoy their life more. Okay, so I'm going to read it, okay, because I understand. I promise you, I get it. It's a little wordy. It is. There's some memorization here, okay? Some of these words, if not all of them, are very, very critical, all right? But I'm going to read it really quickly and how I would talk about it with a client. So we've created a cutting edge digital tool that works like a GPS, but for your money. Once people know the action steps they need to take, we remove the guesswork. Finding the right companies and the right solutions. We provide personal, professional financial guidance to assist people throughout the entire process. This gets families from where they are to where they want to go. We give simple to follow directions and action steps. We can reroute as needed. Most people get a little nervous or scared at the beginning, but once we're finished, they are excited and motivated when they see what's possible. No more guessing or hoping it all works out. They have a legitimate path they can follow to be totally debt-free and financially independent. They can worry less and enjoy their life more. So I looked at the clock on my thing, right? And I started this at 25 minutes and 25 seconds. And this was 45 seconds. Okay. So I don't want you spending a lot of time. I understand we have to get to work. I don't want you, but this is important to collect data, right? Like, we don't, the goal of the first appointment is just to get them some coverage and protect them, but also it is to set it up so we can go back and cross-sell and sell multiple products. Okay, now that's from a cold-hearted business standpoint. From the client standpoint, we need to help them in every single area. We need to help them pay off their debt. We need to help them invest for retirement. And if you don't touch on these subjects, you don't really get a good carryback. They got to know what we do. So let me go through the words now. We've created a cutting-edge digital tool, pretty self-explanatory, right? The tech part, digital part, it's new technology. Like I said, our company is working on stuff with the aggregation of data. I mean, it's going to be absolutely incredible what we're able to do for families. So we're also speaking this into, existence. Our FNA software, our financial needs analysis software, our financial planning software, just to give you guys a little bit of background. When I first started in the company, we were under Citigroup, and the CEO of our company was also CEO. The previous CEO was CEO of our company and Smith Barney, and at the same time, simultaneously. And Smith Barney is the wealth management firm. They have the account minimums, 40,000, 100,000. And we used to use the same FNA software. So this software is not, Toyota and Lexus. We're not the secondary version of it. And then they have a luxury end. Our software with Morningstar and all the variables and everything that we do is second to none. And then obviously, the hypotheticals and everything that we can use from our specific investment companies is the same things they give to Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch. So our financial prowess and what we're able to do for families is incredible. All right. So you need to talk about it. You need to sell it. So we've created a cutting edge digital tool that works like a GPS, but for your money. Everybody's used Google Maps, they use Waze, they use a GPS, right? I mean, you know, the awesome thing about Waze is, you know, it'll reroute you. If there's traffic or an accident, it'll tell you if there's a car pulled over or a police officer, so you slow down. I mean, all this stuff, right? And it's cool, right? I mean, every time, this is just me personally, right? I don't have a great driving record, but every time I get a ticket, which is, I don't know, once a year. I mean, it's stupid. Every time I get one, I never have my Waze on. If I have my Waze on, I know traffic, I know this, I know that, slow down, something's coming up, whatever it is. And I don't know the ethics behind this app, if it's right or wrong. Okay. I'm just speaking out there, so don't judge me for this. But everybody understands a GPS and how a GPS works. Where are you? Where do you want to go? What's the quickest route? What's the simplest route? What's the toll-free route? What's the toll route? What the expected time of arrival is. But people don't do that with their money. They have no idea. They're just working. They're busy, hustle, bustle, and they're not doing any of the right things financially. And like I said, the mistake it cost me when I don't turn my Waze on is I might get speeding tickets or I might be inefficient in my route to get to a trip. But imagine doing that financially. Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, millions of dollars over your lifetime. And people are just managing it incorrectly. Once people know the action steps they need to take, we remove the guesswork. Why are we saying that? They're guessing. They're guessing. They're throwing darts. They don't know. Yeah, you know, they haven't consulted a professional, a licensed person, somebody with some guidance or experience. They're guessing. They're talking to other people that probably don't know any more than them or probably less than them. Finding the right companies and the right solutions, that's also providing value. We provide personal, professional financial guidance to assist people throughout the entire process. Hand holding, taking you to and from, right? We're going to hold your hand through everything. This gets families from where they are to where they want to go. We give simple to follow directions and action steps. We can reroute as needed. Most people get a little nervous or scared at the beginning. Very important to say that. You're telling them what they're thinking already. It's totally normal to feel scared or nervous. Most people do. But once we're finished, they are excited and motivated when they see what's possible. Oh, okay. Right? When you say things like that, like they get motivated, they might feel, you know, I mean, think about that. Most people are unmotivated when it comes to their financial situation. No more guessing or hoping it all works out. I talked about this at one of our previous trainings. That's people's plan, is to guess or hope. I hope. And hope is great. It's important, but it's not a plan. That's not a plan. A plan is what we give them. They have a legitimate path they can follow to be totally debt-free and financially independent. This is very important because we ask this question later. They have a legitimate path they can follow to be totally debt-free and financially independent. And we've already asked them what financial independence means to them at the mission statement. They can worry less and enjoy their life more. Okay. So next slides I'm going to cover are the compound interest slide and the insurance with the man that passes away. All right. All right, so compound interest. Let me show you the power of compound interest. Let me ask you a question. Is $200 a month a lot of money? Get a very important answer here, right? If the client has disposable income, okay, in order for us to help clients, they have to have some extra money. Okay, you know, if they are worried about food and shelter, and I mean that, I'm not saying that with any sarcasm, but if their immediate needs are not being met, financial planning is not probably a target. Now we work with ultra wealthy people, but we're not exclusive to ultra wealthy people, but they have to have some discretionary income. Okay. You can't do any financial planning if they have no extra money. Now they might not feel like they have extra money and they might be mismanaging their money, which probably is the case, but they have to have some discretionary income. If they don't have any, then it's very difficult to do our job. So let me ask you a question. Is $200 a month a lot of money? You get the answer, oh yeah, no, yeah, well, yeah, right now it is. For most people, yeah. I mean, I guess, you know, depending on what they say, you can get a lot of feeling from that. You can read into that. How much do you waste every day on littles? How much do you think you waste a month? And if I were to hook you up with a lie detector, right, you had to tell the truth. How much do you waste every single day on average? When I say waste, I'm not, you know, maybe convenient shopping. You should have packed lunch instead of eating out, gas station, you know, Starbucks, as opposed to maybe Dunkin' Donuts. 15 bucks a day, $20 a day. Okay. You don't think about it at the time, and it may not seem like a lot, but over 30 days, that adds up. Then I'm going to reduce it, right? So if you see this, you know, say Thomas says $20 a day. Say, well, okay, well, $20, that's $600 a month. I mean, maybe you don't waste 20, but at least 10. Would you agree? Yeah. Well, 10 times 30 is $300. So at least $10 a day is $300 a month. Now, what are we doing? Okay. For the client, what are we doing? We're trying to explain to them that they're eating their retirement. And that's what they're doing. They're going through the Starbucks drive-through instead of funding their IRA. That a little money adds up to a lot of money, and that daily habits are important. And that if we can show you some accountability, we can take some of that money and reallocate it and do so much better for you. And I just want you guys to know for you, okay? I always have a jet lag example. I always tell people things are like jet lag, right? You get used to it after a while, right? You know, I was messed up over daylight savings like a week or two ago. I mean, I didn't know what time it was. I was waking up. I didn't know what was going on, man. Kids are up at, you know, I didn't even know what time it was. I promise. I was like, where am I? I'm in a different time zone, different country. And it's just 1 hour on each way. But, you know, I don't know. At my old age, it just throws you off tremendously. Right. So I was just like, what the hell? Like, where am I? But you get used to it. Now I'm used to it. You know, I don't have too many vices, right? But like one of my vices, you guys know, I love Red Bull. I love sugar-free Red Bull. Love it. But I cut it out. I cut that out, you know, and I'm going like, I don't know, almost 2 months strong. Let's see who is not muted. I'm gonna find you. I love sweet tea. That's one of my other vices. I love sweet tea. Love iced tea with lots of sugar in it. Lots of sugar. Um, you know, but then sugary drinks, I was like, man, this ain't good. So I started drinking iced tea without sugar in it, and it just tastes terrible, right? But after a while, I actually got used to it. I didn't even crave the sugar anymore. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even crave it. And then I cut it out altogether. I don't miss it. These habits that people have, they're killing themselves financially. They really are. If you don't pay yourself first, you don't do the right things financially. So this is not just a slide like this. You got to get excited about these kind of things, man. $10 a day, $20 a day, $300 a month. Packing it for yourself. You setting these things up for these types of clients. And you can have client examples. I used to always say stuff like this at the appointment. A typical family like you, they save $500 a month. And I would just say it. Typical family like you, they save $1,000 a month. We champion monthly investing. So we're showing them how a little bit of money adds up, that just $200 a month could make you a cash millionaire. We're showing you the power of compound interest and why high rates of return are important and can work against you with debt. And then also the main reason, not the main reason, but one of the main reasons we ask this question is because we want to find out if they're wasting money, because if they're wasting money, we can find that money and use it to get an insurance policy, an investment program. Because if Marin says to me that she's wasting $20 a day between her and her family, that's $600 a month. Well, she can afford $100 on a life insurance policy. She can afford $150 a month to pack away for her retirement. She's burning $600, $20 a day. We can take half of that and put it towards your financial plan. Okay. Then after that, you're going to actually go through the sides. Let me show you. $200 a month. Invest at 3%, 150,000, 6%, 300, whatever it is, 286,000. Take a guess. What do you think it'd be at 12%, 1.3 million? See, most people in this country, they think in order for you to become a millionaire, you need to make $1 million a year. An actress, an actor, a sports star, celebrity, that's not true. You just need to invest your money and get high rates of return. Okay, insurance. Let's talk about protecting financial independence. What's the worst thing that can happen to a family financially? Let them answer. It's a question. Okay, you don't speak. You let them answer. They're going to say something along the lines of, and I'll go through the slides in a second. What's the worst thing that can happen to a family financially? Lose a job, bankruptcy, disabled. Why is losing a job really bad? And you're right, it is really bad because you lose an income. You're absolutely right. And income is very important. It's how your family lives. But if you lose a job, you can always, and you do the planned pause, okay? Write that down, the planned pause. If you lose a job, you can always, I say just like that, you're leading them, get another job. What would happen if you lost that income permanently? What would happen? I knew it. I saw somebody on the screen and then they marked me up, man. They marked their territory. Freaking knew it. All right, how do I delete this? It's going to bother me. All right, now someone can help me. All right, where was I? Okay, stop the slideshow. All right, I'll do that. This is being recorded, man. All right, the professor, you were smart. Oh, no, Ian, you were wrong. It didn't work. I think this is going to be on my screen permanently, like for the rest of, even when I log off Zoom. All right. Okay, you were right, Ian. I see what you meant. All right, back to it. Sorry about that. What would happen if you lost that income permanently? Again, this is an open-ended question. You want to get a reaction from them. This is a deep, thought-provoking question. Okay. Now remember, also, this is one slide between this is the insurance quadrant. Okay, so this is very important right here. This is not something that you just brush over. How important is his income to his family? Now, and you're going to also ask, right? Let me pull this up. It's a little bit difficult to go back and forth because there are some questions in between. Come on, man. My computer's freezing up. All right, there we go. So when we ask this question, right, what's the worst thing that can happen to your family financially? And then they say, losing income. Okay, yeah, absolutely. If you lose a job, losing a job is really bad. Why is it bad? Because, income, how do you live? Absolutely. But if you lose a job, you can always get another job. What if you lost that income permanently? Here's a typical family that we help. If you look at this family, you see the wife makes $3,500, the husband makes $3,500, they make $7,000. How much do they spend? $7,000. And what do you notice about these bills? And you want them to say, these are normal bills. Exactly. There's no boat in here. There's no second home. These are normal, everyday. Most people have these bills. Okay, so now I'm going through a case study with them. Then I ask, how important is his income to his family? Then we're going to go back to the questions, okay? If something happens to the dad, how soon would that income stop? See, you got to put a tremendous sense of urgency in this client. It starts on this slide. We can't put this off anymore. We can't procrastinate. Anything could happen at any time. If something happens to the dad, how soon would the income stop? And which of these bills would stop? And you're using your mouse, you're using your pointer, whatever it is that you're drawing attention to the screen, the bills are still going to come, but the income is not there. What would happen to this family if the income stops, but the bills don't? Now we're going to ask them, if something happened to you, what standard of living would you want to leave your family in financially? So it should say financially. Better, worse, or at minimum stay the same? Obviously, we always want better. Okay, better is the right answer. Stay the same is kind of a right answer. If they say it, at least stay the same, that's a fine answer, okay? But we want better. Now, if something happened to you today, would they be left in a better financial position? Or if they say stay the same financial position? No, they wouldn't. If they say yes, say, oh, okay, what do you have in place? And you just start talking about it right then. If they say yes, you say, what do you have in place? And then we just start dialoguing right there. Most of the time, I would say 9 out of 10, they're going to say no, or unsure, they don't know. Say, I agree with you. Most people, we're not going to attack them now because we still have a few more slides to get into their specific personal insurance program. I agree with you. Most people, if something happened to them, want their family to live better, but they don't have anything in place to ensure that that happens. This is where we help people. Move on. And I'm open if somebody wants to send me a question. I know some of you guys may have a better commitment question there. Send it to me and then we can discuss it. Not right now, but you can send it to me personally and we can talk about it. I know some of you guys are, do these slides very, very well. And I'm open for it. Okay. These are just kind of the concepts, but there might be a better transitioning question. Then we're going to go to building your financial house. We already talked about being completely debt-free and financially independent. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you rate your desire to become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent? Okay, now we are going to get their priorities of their financial plan, and 9 out of 10 times we're going to start talking about insurance right after this slide. There might be an exception where we might go into something else, but most of the time we're going to go and start talking about income protection, which is the foundation. Okay, so now on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you rate your desire to become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent? If they say 10, which they should say 10, they've given you permission. We're going to start becoming extremely assumptive right after that answer. And we're going to start going into collecting data, making recommendations, talking about their specific products till they stop us. Okay. But here I want you to write this: assume, assume, assume. Assume they want the help, assume they want a financial plan, a money GPS, and assume they want better products. If they say 10, there's nothing more important than that. Okay, we're going to build you a strong financial house, because when you're building a house, where would you start? On the roof or the foundation? Any house, it needs to be built on a strong foundation. If the foundation is weak, it crumbles. In this case, your financial house would crumble on your family. So in your financial house, your foundation is your income. And you may want to ask them again, why? Just to confirm, why is it the foundation? Maybe they can repeat back to you some of the things that we've said to them. Income makes life possible for your family. That is a great statement to always use. Income makes life possible for your family. Income makes life possible for your family. That overcomes a lot of, well, I'm not that focused on money. Well, your family needs money to live. And if something happens to you, they definitely are going to need money. It also overcomes the life insurance is not for you, it's for your family. Right? Always remember that. You don't need life insurance if you pass away. You need life insurance because your family will live beyond you. That's why you need it. So we start with the foundation. Income protection. Life insurance. Families want to make sure if something happens to them, like you had mentioned earlier, and I always say that, like you meant, that their standard of living, their family's standard of living would be better. These are, and I say this before, that these are the four main concerns of families. Obviously, we start with the foundation. Two is retirement. They know they're not getting any younger. They want to find out where they are in the process. They want to get a handle on it. College. They want to, and that's something that we can talk about. They want to assist their kids if it comes down to helping them with college or leaving something for the kids. Or debt or monthly budget. They want to make sure their debt does not get out of control. They'd like to pay off their debt. How would you rank these? Pick your top two. I asked both of them. And if I get income protection on one for both, I'm making a sale. I just want you to know that right then and there, I am making a sale. If you do it right and you get them to answer. Now, some of you guys, and this is okay. This is where you can use your discernment. Some of you guys don't give them the option. You just go into income protection. That's fine too. Okay. I think that probably at least 50% of clients, you probably should just direct them into income protection. Me personally, this is just a personal preference. I like them to actually pick the income protection, one or two, because for me, it gives me confirmation that I've done well in my presentation so far of emphasizing the right things. And the right things are starting with the foundation that if something happened, I want my family's standard of living to be better or at least stay the same. And I want to put something in place. All right, I think that's it for presentation stuff. Okay, if they don't say income protection, like say they say retirement and debt, that does happen, Chantel. That happens, unfortunately more than it should. I'll ask them. I'll say, oh, I noticed you didn't say income protection. I'll always answer their question first. I'll say, okay, hey, tell me about your debt. Tell me about this. And I might ask, answer a few questions, but then I'll say, I noticed you didn't say income protection. But, a couple slides ago, earlier on in our presentation, you said that you wanted your family standard of living to be better or to stay the same. Do you have something in place? Why, and I'm just curious why you didn't say income protection. I want to see, oh, I have something at my job, or you know what, I don't really believe. I mean, I've had people give me all green lights and then they say, I don't believe in life insurance. Right. So I want to get it out quickly. I want to ask those questions. I want to address them immediately, especially before I go in that past the house. And that's a good point. It's a great question there. If you're going past the house, it should be somebody that wants to get a money GPS done. It should be somebody that wants to really check out what you're doing. Don't go past the house if somebody's not playing the game with you, right? If you're playing catch and they don't throw it back to you, there's no point, right? You can't play catch by yourself. You have to play with somebody else. They have to throw it back to you. So, if they don't say income protection, I'll give them one last chance, and then maybe maybe I'll go through if they have some investments or something like that. But most of the time, I'll kind of politely decline to go through. All right. And, we talked yesterday about, last week about insurance just in general. And, like I talked about our company and the new technology and all the stuff, the new enhancements that we're doing with our insurance product. And, coincidentally, yesterday or 2 days ago, I met with a client that was a Primerica client of ours for a long time, with one of our agents, Dee, that lives in Virginia Beach. She doesn't, when we were doing meetings in person, she may came up to the office once or twice a year, and maybe some of the big events, but really just work remotely. And this client was hers for a long time, and he was a police chief, and he passed away prematurely, but I don't want to say expectedly, but he was battling an illness for 3 years, and he passed away at, and his wife was 58. And it was a month ago that he passed away, and she was willing to sit down with us now. She was ready. And they had an IRA, and he had, $60,000 in that, and then a life insurance proceeds of $700,000. $700,000. And I told her how happy I was to look at her financial situation this way. I said, I'm not happy because you lost your spouse. I'm just happy that he did this. And I genuinely meant that. I was so happy for her. And I'll tell you, man, the conversations that we had about what she was going to do. Yes, she was nervous and a little scared, as anybody would be, but they are totally different night and day when someone has no insurance or is underinsured. Night and day. She was talking about her children and her grandchildren and doing things that they had planned on doing, but she thinks that she still can do them because she was left with this money. Her house was paid off. She had one more payment. She has to make one more payment on the mortgage, and they were Primerica agents. Debt-free retirement account, and he worked public service, police officers. He has a pension and a $700,000 death benefit. So, I know we're learning these presentations and, they're presenting and you're going in there. And I always tell you, I know a lot of times you think that, some of your clients, and hopefully they're not affected, but, if you're here long enough, this is just what we do. This is what we do. We're on the front lines. Always remember that we are on the front lines. So it's very important to know your lines, to know the words, to ask the right questions. And if you had any questions that I'm not going to answer right now, you can message me on Telegram, and I'll try to get back to you. I mean, I'll get back to you at least with an answer. Ask these questions. The people that are trained the best, they always were the most curious about how it worked, how the qualified meeting worked, because they know they could always get better. Hey, what would you say here? What would you have done here? What about this? And I'm not saying I always give the right answer, but sometimes those debriefing and asking those questions are what makes you an absolute pro at that qualified meeting. So we have training tomorrow at 9:30. We'll be breaking up in our different classrooms. I'll also have a very important announcement tomorrow for 9:30, so make sure you're on. And we will finish out the month strong. Month end is Thursday. I believe Thursday at 6 p.m. They may extend it. We'll find out. There's a lot to play for. There's bonus money. There's iPads. There's contests. There's trips. All the stuff. There's field training bonus, licensing, everything. So we got a lot to do. Make sure you're there, ready to set appointments, get people on. And we're going to have our classrooms and we'll have great training. So appreciate everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.